Good morning, Pulse kids. How are we doing today? Happy freaking Friday. It's the Friday in between Christmas and New Year's. It's a good time to be alive. I'm feeling great today. I got the PulseX glasses on today. I figured it was a good day for PulseX since Richard Hart was shilling PulseX on Christmas. But how's it going, guys? This is Open Mic Friday today. I figured I'd do a stream for you because last Friday I was unable to do the Open Mic Friday with so much chaos going on here in Arizona, me being here for family, for the holidays. It's been quite the season. I'm having a great time, though. Absolutely blessed. I'm getting over this cold. It's almost gone. I think we're right on the verge of it. And then we're going to go up in the snow and probably catch another cold. We're going to go up and go skiing. Hopefully next week or the week after before we head back to Puerto Rico. Go touch some grass, right? Spend some time with family, create those memories that I preciously most care about. I feel like memories and experiences are the one thing you take to your afterlife when you're moving on. That's what you take with you, guys. And so you got to have your health and you got to have wealth. And those are the two things you need to be able to create as many memories and experiences as you possibly can. So, guys, today's Open Mic Friday. I'm going to drop the link in the chat here in a second. Come one, come all. Let's talk anything crypto. Let's talk anything health. Let's talk anything wealth. It could be about real estate. It could be about anything you want. I don't mind. I'm here for you guys. This is your guys' show. And I will go ahead and drop that link in now. Put it here. And there she goes. All right. So let's check in with you guys in the chat, though, and see what's going on. There we got Mr. Red Squirrel. Oi, oi. Hey, my man. How are we doing, my friend? He is almost number one every single time. Almost number one every single time. And he's number one in the chat in all these different shows. I don't know how you do it, bro. You're like sitting there with all the notifications on. I love it. Crypto Durgan. Hey, good morning to you, good sir. Corey, I'm still for Alti. Are you happy? Yeah, happy holidays. AltiRiches.com, by the way, if you guys want to rock and roll with me, you don't have to. But that's what my affiliate link is, and that's what I'll be using for my ETH deposits is through that public address. I have it attached to that affiliate link, and so if you guys want to rock and roll with me in Alti, if great. If not, there's plenty of other influencers with affiliate links that you could use. Don't mind, who you use, but if you want that extra 33%, use somebody's affiliate link so you can get that bonus. It's nice that it rewards the referee and the referrer pretty much the same. So, yeah, come and rock and roll with me. I'd love it. Once again, AltiRiches.com. Very easy. It launches like in 2 or 3 days, something like that. It's part of my lottery ticket bucket over on Ethereum. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I'm excited for it for sure. I caught that last. I'll just tell you guys when Zen had that like pump, it did like a 3x, 3 or 4x off the bottom. Man, I don't know if you guys saw that. It was like a week or two ago. I was able to sell that local top with like all my Zen that I was like negative in profit on, like I was like underwater on. And I got basically I got all my money back plus a little bit of profit on that pump. And yeah, it's going into Alti. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I hope Mr. Levin launches X1 sometime, next market cycle. I don't know. He seems to be way behind the curve. Hey, my computer is not. There it goes. Crypto Compassion. Oi, oi. Hey, my man. What's up, dude? Hit me up, man. While I'm out here in AZ and while the kids are out of school, let's try to see if we can link up, man. I think I can come on your show now. I know we talked about it when I was in Puerto Rico. And the problem is that your show happens right when I'm picking the kids up from school. So hit me up, man, and let's see if we can link something up here in the next couple weeks. Good to see you, too. D Nice, what's up, man? What is the good word, brother, man? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Hex Glenn, Merry Christmas late. Yeah, man, it's still the season. It's the season all the way through the new year, right? And then it's Happy New Year, and then it's time to get to work after the new year. The holidays are over. The sitting around, hanging out, getting fat, watching Christmas movies, playing with toys, whatever it is. It's time to get back to work and go out and create a shit ton of value in the world so you can bring that value back, put it in crypto, and 10x your life. That's the idea, right? But man, it's been an awesome Christmas out here in AZ. It happens every year. Well, I don't want to say every year. It's my second year doing this. We're in Puerto Rico. We're 90 degrees all year round. It's warm. It's hot. It's humid. We come out to Arizona. It's cold. It was getting on a 35. I got on a 35. I think it was night before last. And yeah, we all caught a cold. That's what happens. But we're getting over it. We actually caught a little bit of the cold. We started getting sick because we went up to the Yunque Mountains in Puerto Rico a couple of weeks before we came out here. And it was chilly up there, and we started getting sick then. This just escalated it. Hi ho Hex, what is up? How are we doing? What is the good word? Duke of Booze. Cheers, everyone, my man. Cheers to you with my coffee early in the morning here. It is almost 9 a.m. So I will cheers you with some coffee, and it's always good seeing you, brother. What's going on with Titan X, man? You're one of my few watchers who participates in that ecosystem. I participate in a way where I like to be able to bring that value back to Pulse Chain, but I do participate. So that's what I'll be doing to Alti too, guys. I will participate in Alti, but that value comes back to Pulse Chain every time. I mean, I'm not 100% maxi. I'm a 90%, 95% maxi, I guess you would say. And then when I participate in other ecosystems, I bring the value back almost every time. Where does the idea of taking experience to the afterlife? Is that a particular religion? Nah, man, it's just what I believe. The experiences and memories that we create in this life is the only thing that we're able to take. I'll tell you what we don't take, D Nice. It's not the Lambos. It's not the Corvettes. It's not the houses. It's not the money in your bank account. It's not going to even be your crypto portfolio. Unfortunately, it'd be kind of cool if you could take your Hex with you, stake your Hex for like 500 years. I mean, you can have your, but we don't take any of that shit with us. We take what's attached to our soul. And what I believe is attached to our soul is our memories, our experiences, our, who we've become, in this life, who have we been shaped and molded to. So that's just my personal belief. Once again, I don't give any financial advice. I don't give any tax advice. I don't give any spiritual advice. I'm just a dude on the internet who likes to speculate on his own money and speculate on his own spirituality. So that's kind of where it's at with that. And that's what I believe. Mr. Frank Conversations is a good word, man. How are you doing today? How are you feeling?
Feeling great. And I feel like I'm chiming in at the exact right time when you're talking about spiritual development. And
are you going to give spiritual advice on this show?
I am. Without question. That's my forte. That's my purpose. Being spiritual is my purpose. And I'm not kidding.
I love that.
Enlightened consciousness is my whole intention of being alive. So yes, raising your own level of consciousness is the most important thing for one to do, right? How do you do that? You can start with simple things like, I find that when you've been a jerk to somebody, apologize. That's one way.
That's nice and simple.
Yeah, just be like, especially with holidays being, holidays at this time, it's an opportunity to hit the thing you're confronted by with this person head on and say, you know what? I've been being a jerk for the last couple of years with you. Here's why. I apologize. Is there anything you want to say? and then you have the conversation and then you move forward. That is one way to do it. And I'll say another way. And I brought this book. I just got done jogging. So
I just got done hit the gym too, man. I just got back.
So I would say another way is to read a book called Power versus Force and Truth versus Falsehood by Dr. David Hawkins.
I love Dr. David Hawkins.
Power versus Force, great book. This is a juggernaut of consciousness. So you read this book, your consciousness will go up. The average person in a lifetime's consciousness on a scale of 1 to 1,000, according to Dr. David Hawkins, only goes up 5 points. But you can learn how to increase your consciousness. I mean, you could go up 100 points listening to a seminar. People have gone up hundreds of points listening to his seminars. So there you have it. I just gave you the keys to the kingdom, everybody. Not like I'm the expert on it, but I am a master muscle tester. I'm not afraid to share that. It's the wackiest thing you could ever imagine, but I've been doing it ever since I found out about his book. And it's been a real journey. And you were talking about lifetimes as well, like what you take with you, what you have experiences in this lifetime.
Yeah.
Well, I believe in past lifetimes, and I think you can actually, that might be a topic for another day.
Well, that's okay, and it's always okay to touch on it if you want to. But I just believe that everything that we are molded and shaped in this lifetime is for a purpose. It's not to be thrown in vain. Where we are going to carry on these lessons, these experiences, these memories. We're here for a purpose and a reason. And that carries with us to the afterlife, and where our next journey takes us. I don't fully understand that piece, and I don't think I'm meant to understand that piece to the full conception. My brain can't comprehend it. I know it's something much grander and greater than this, but I believe this is all for something, and we are being molded and shaped. And so it's really, really cool. That's what I believe we take to the afterlife. And it's definitely not, like I was talking about before you hopped on, Frank, it's definitely not the freaking cars and the houses and the freaking money in your bank. We don't take any of that shit with us, dude. You don't even take your physical body. You can work on your physical body and make it a freaking powerhouse in this life. And that's awesome. And that's going to help you have a longer life. You want that. You need a long life, or you don't need it, but you should want it, right? But you don't take that with you either. You leave that body behind. And so it's all the stuff that's attached to your spirit that you get to take with you. So that's what I believe. And I'm making my life's mission to make sure I focus on two things, because if I want to have as many memories and experiences that I possibly can, and I want to be molded and shaped to this finer version of me, how can I do that? Well, I need a lot of time to do that. So that means I need health. You need health, right? You gotta protect this body. This body's a temple that God gave us. And sorry to get religious on you guys here, but it helps everybody, because you want to better live a good life. That's why you're here in crypto. But you need health to be able to do that, to have that long life. To my daughter's 3, right? I'm 47. I want to live to 150, right? And so I want to see her kids. And so, and you need wealth. The second thing is you have to have wealth. You can't do any of this stuff if you're a broke pleb, right? You just can't, right? You can't do this stuff in life if you're broke. And so you have to have wealth to be able to basically free yourself. You can have that escape velocity, so you can go out and live the best version of yourself and live out the dreams that you have in your heart. Pursue the entrepreneurship dreams that you have, or maybe the philanthropist type dreams that you have. And that takes money, man. And that takes a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Yeah. And the interesting thing is that when you have wealth and you have money, a lot of things you get out of the things that you escape from is survival mentality.
Bingo. Boom.
Yeah. When you're in survival.
Yep.
You
hit the nail on the head.
I've heard, don't quote me on this, but I've heard that when you're in survival, you're stupider. You're literally,
you can't process.
Not where when you come from survival versus thriving, when you come from a thriving standpoint, your decisions are much better. They're more clear. You have better intentions. But when you're coming from scarcity, you just kind of make stupid decisions.
You do it. You hit the nail on the head there. That's flow state. When you're in flow state, whether it's in your daily life with your family and you're in flow state, or in your work environment, which I love being in my flow state, my work environment, because it just like time doesn't exist, and you're not in that scarcity. I need to make the next paycheck. I need the next dollar because my bills are owed, and you're feeling that like pressure, that pressure in that debt monkey on your back is what I that debt, that curse, right, sitting on you, like that will keep you compressed, right? You need to decompress. It keeps you from being your full self 100%.
Yeah. Here's a good parallel before we introduce the man of the hour, Norbert. I would equate decisions when you're in scarcity as one does when you take a loan out on a credit card. Oh yeah, at first it's 0%, right? Then you don't pay it, and now it's 9.95%, and then you start to get behind on it, and then it goes to 21%, and then you're like, it's a snowball effect. So
it's hurting,
and which today I Googled, I chat GPT'd some goals that we can all have for crypto in 2025 to help people get out of scarcity mindset and be.
I love it. Well, let's hear those goals. Pull that up if you have it right after we introduce Mr. Norbert here. It looks like it's kind of gloomy where you're at. Is it rainy?
Yeah, it's Jack the Ripper type of weather here. Very foggy and like gray, and
is it cold?
Kind of,
oh man, look at that! It's foggy. Man,
foggy and blue, yeah. It doesn't help with your well-being and your mood, that's for sure.
Well, it's a good word, man. How you doing?
Yeah, doing much better than a week ago. But I can relate to your conversations pretty well. With a few friends, when we talk, we figured something out. I mean, you don't need to be a genius to figure this out, but the system is wrong.
Yep.
The reason being, this, when you were talking about this scarcity mindset, this pressure, this fear, it's like 80 or 90% of the time in life, you are sort of under pressure, which not necessary, in my opinion. If the economy would do better, and if we have different conditions, let's say, then it wouldn't be the case. Because as life goes, let's say you have most of us doing earning average salary, making average income, and if you are one of those, like myself or my friends, then as soon as something like a little piece gets into the system, it clogs it up, and then the red signs start flashing. Simple example, I bought a electric car not long ago. I always wanted to show you guys. I was so proud of it, like a year ago, 2 years ago, when we were on this electric car festival. It's a Hyundai Ioniq 5. I was like, wow, man, one day I want to have a car like that. It's so cool. So then a year later, a day came, and I managed to get one.
Nice.
Let me finish the story. Then you understand. And on that sense, yeah, that part is nice. And as time was going by, I figured out that because it was an private hire vehicle, it's like they were transporting people in Europe. So the mileage was higher, but it was much cheaper than any other in this range. And because it's 3 years old model, you could not get a cheaper one with higher mileage. Everyone was just using it normal. So I said, okay, let's risk it, why not? It's much cheaper than anything else in the market. So at that time, I got it $2,000 less than the dealer price, not the market price, the dealer price. 1 year later, when I put in about 20,000 miles on the clock, now the car worth 7,000 less than when I checked it last time, dealer price. So I'm like, okay. I said, yeah. Normally I change the cars quite often, and I said to myself, okay, sell it and get something else. Give it to my friend, put it on the market. On the way, one of the night I was going home, I was like, oh, maybe I should keep this car. It's still high mileage, but it drives so nice and everything works. And as soon as I got home, everything works, flashing like a Christmas tree. Like main electric vehicle management system check, power source check, and I'm like, fuck, what's going on?
Uh,
Went to the dealer. They quoted $4,000 to fix it because I'm out of warranty.
yep.
The funny thing is so that's my message to everyone who wants to buy electric cars. Only buy it if it's within warranty, and only buy it if it's less than 60,000 miles, because even if it's within warranty, after 60,000 miles, they're going to start saying, yeah, but on this occasion, because this part is limited warranty, so this is not covered, that is not covered. But anyway, long story short, I'm $4,000 richer because luckily two main components was gone on the car, which was changed as a factory recall a few months ago. And because both of them gone at the same time, as a goodwill, the manager, I had to fight for it a lot. But after like a half an hour convincing and explanation, keeping my calm and not swearing, just making a point, the manager agreed to be on my side, and he said, okay, you got a point, I understand you, and on your side, leave it with me. I fight for it, and I managed, I tried to get it for you. I can't promise it because it used to be an ex-private hire. I think they're gonna reject the claim, but let's see. He managed to do it, so I'm $4,000 in, which is good, nice Christmas gift. But like when all these things happen, when you're starting feeling good, there's always something in life when the system is dragging you down. And if you don't have that financial stability and sort of backup, because some of my friend was saying like, yeah, but you got savings, so why worry too much? Imagine if you had no money at all. I said, okay, it's one way of looking at it, but it's still $4,000, like for me, I
Still
have to work
fees,
two full months to get that kind of money. But yeah, anyone out there, try to do your best to somehow first forget about credit cards. Just make yourself somehow better, somehow more valuable, more knowledgeable. Then get extra income, and then like follow these steps to build like a strong foundation when you're not gonna be that dependable on the system. And if something goes wrong, you still can continue and carry on.
Yeah, and what you said there is really important, Norbert. One of the things that one of the things that my wife and I did is we had 2 years of income saved up. That takes you out of scarcity mode. When the pandemic hit, I was like,
that's nice.
If I never sell another home again, what'll happen here? Well, I got time to think about it because I got 2 years I have 2 years of cash, set aside, and I wasn't in scarcity mode, which helped me get into crypto. So that is another way to, transcend scarcity mode and go into thriving mode. Make decisions when you make decisions better when you're thriving. So
let me answer this real quick, guys, because I do like answering these questions. They're very important to me.
Absolutely.
He wants to know about the liver cleanse that I do. So what it is, it's beetroot, green apple, ginger, and a lemon or a lime squeezed. Blend it so it's one green apple. Leave the peel on. One beetroot. Chop up ginger. Squeeze a lime or a lemon in there. Blend it. Drink it on an empty stomach. First thing in the morning, at least a minimum an hour before your meal. So you want to drink on an empty stomach, so it's the only thing in your body. Do that for 2 weeks, and it will remove a crap ton of fat from your liver. Especially the beetroot's the secret there. The beetroot, it gets in there and chips away at that fat in the liver. It's a good way to reset that part of your body. Your liver is everything in your body. Like if you don't have a healthy liver, your body's unable to function. That's how like type 2 diabetes comes into play. Like it monitors and manages everything. Your liver is a powerhouse. It's a freaking powerhouse, and you got to take care of the liver so that way all your other organs can operate in sync.
So you said beetroot, apple, ginger, and what was the other thing?
A lemon or a lime. Get one of those like presses to squeeze all the juice into the blender. My wife, she's the one that makes it for me when I go on that cleanse, and then you'll do it every morning for 2 weeks straight. Don't mix it with anything else. You want that to be the only thing in the body working for at least, I mean, I would say maybe even 2 or 3 hours. Like you could maybe do it in the morning, and then maybe you have lunch, right? I do intermittent fasting. So like when I'm not intermittent fasting, I'll do that. I'll plug that in the morning. That's like my breakfast type shake. It's not really a shake though, but like I'll do that in the morning, and then that way,
Smoothie kind of thing, yeah.
yeah, it just gives your body a cleanse, and do that for 2 weeks, man. And you just, I feel the difference. And maybe it's all mental. I don't know. Either way, it's definitely not bad for you. You're not gonna hurt yourself by doing it. So go out and do it. Maybe you'll help yourself.
Delicious. It sounds delicious, man. I have the budget-friendly option of this liver cleansing. When you mix a tablespoon of decent extra virgin olive oil with a decent tablespoon of lemon juice. Again, just mix it in a small cup or whatever, and then just get it down like a shot. Empty stomach, and at least half an hour, 1 hour, don't eat anything. So that's more a little bit like simpler version and more budget friendly as well.
Same here, man. This is exactly why I'm working so incredibly hard on my health these last few years, is because I was a alcoholic and drug addict for like 25 plus years. I mean, like raging, like alcoholic drug addict. So I was very abusive to my body. So, these last years of my, it's not the last year of my life, but this second half of my life here, or 2/3 that's left in my life, I'm going to make sure I take extra good care of my body. That's why I do peptides. That's why I go to the gym every day. I do these cleanses. I do, anything I could think of to get my body in optimum. You want to do your obviously, Matt, get your blood panels done. You want to get your at least 50 biomarkers or above tested to see where you stand, where your nutrition's at. That way, if you're like deficient on vitamin B6, to go and supplement that because your body needs it, right? Or vitamin D, because that's one of the biggest ones for people. Most people are deficient in vitamin D because they don't get enough sun. And so you need to know those metrics so that way you can start kind of balancing those and getting your body into homeostasis again. And so get your biomarkers checked. I try to get it done once a quarter to go in there and see. It's like lifting the hood up in your car. I'm like, okay, let's fix the problems before they become problems, right? That's huge. Because if you wait till they're a problem in your body, well, now you got to use doctor visits, and like that shit's expensive, man. And like in your body, it heals, but as we get older, does it heal as good? Yeah, it's all debatable. I mean, if we're taking care of ourselves, I guess it can, but if we're not taking care of ourselves, it doesn't. And so just a lot of things to keep in mind. But this is exactly why, man, I was a hardcore alcoholic and junkie for a very long time, and so that's why that's 2/3 of my life. Because that was only like the first third, right? Like I'm gonna live to 150. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to 150, man, and I'm gonna live the best version of myself physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially, guys. Yes, we're talking about crypto too. We're gonna talk about crypto, and you need all those to have a good life, man. So that's awesome, bro. Feel free to reach out, man, if you want more information. Kind of talking about the stuff on here, people get bored of it, but like reach out to me on Twitter anytime. That's where I answer my DMs. I don't answer DMs in Telegram that much, but Twitter I do. So you can reach out to me there. Like if you want to know about peptides, what I'm doing for that stuff. There's a lot of mitochondrial type peptides, stuff that lengthens your telomeres, stuff that really kind of reverses the aging clock. Alcohol and drugs are the opposite. They took our clock and made it go forward. It's like shit, man. I need to go backwards, not forward.
I invite everybody to give up sugar for 90 days. It's in everything.
Sugar is poison.
Poison. It'll completely reset your biological
sodas, candy, poison.
Yep. Alcohol. It degrades to carbohydrates, sugar, right? So yeah.
Yep. 100%. I rarely ever eat sugar. I mean, and I like ice cream. That's my my kind of like monkey now, if I let it be. But even now, I eat ice cream maybe once a month to once every other month. That's it.
Flour as well.
Yeah.
Give up
white bread. and
Yeah.
most bread actually. Simple carbohydrates. You just gotta be careful what you're eating. A lot of carbohydrates are bad for you that are processed, right? Especially here in America, we process everything. I don't know why we do that. We just got garbage everywhere, man. And so like we're very intentional when we go to the grocery store. We have this. I'll share this with you guys too, real quick, before we kind of get off the subject of health. I have this app. Let me see if you guys can see it. It's called Yuki. It's got a little carrot right here. This app allows me to barcode scan everything in the grocery store when I'm shopping, and it tells me if it's healthy for me or not, and it rates it on a 1 to 100 score and tells me all the bad shit that's in it.
That's
like
awesome.
Yeah. So I'm in the store all day when I'm shopping. I'm just like scanning all the barcodes when I'm like putting stuff in my grocery cart. Some people think I'm crazy, man. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like,
No, it's useful, man, and especially it's helpful as a tool as well, because I'm trying to do the same thing. And these guys, they're making it on purpose to write it in such a small letters. And as I'm aging, I started realizing that the things which are close to me is harder for me to read, and I can't read those bloody things. I can see like numbers and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I don't want those for sure. But yeah, it's crazy.
So it's
Yuki, yeah.
Yuka.
Yuka. And I tell you, Frank and Norbert, they have almost everything in that app. When you go to the store,
nice.
It's like I'll be surprised. Like even some stuff that like made in Puerto Rico that I would like, oh, this is kind of mom and pop. I doubt they have this. And I'll scan. I'm like, oh my God, they got it. I'm like, wow. You'll just be shocked at how much inventory they have in that app. And they know everything about, like, they know all the additives are in there, all the garbage. It's so like when you're going grocery shopping and your wife's just throwing a bunch of stuff in the grocery cart because you're trying to feed your family, right? Like you're going I'm just there playing like quarterback going, okay, is this good? Is this good? Is this good?
And like the way how you say it right now, as a individual who is trying to be healthy or become healthy, it can be a tremendous amount of work to what am I going to do with the information? What am I going to store it? Where I'm going to get it from? But thanks to you, I never heard of that app, for example. But I don't think that many people realize the use case of crypto. We talked about this previously on previous episodes, especially about NFTs. Because imagine that on an NFT, you can store all the information related to your blood type, what sort of diet you need to have, all these things. All these things, store it forever. And whenever you go and you want to talk to like a health specialist, oh, can I see your blood scan or scan test, whatever, 2 years ago? No, and it's just like you go there, you show an NFT or whatever, they scan it, and okay, let me check. All right, okay, you spoke to that person. So it's the possibilities are endless.
They're endless. To be honest. They are endless, man, and it's anything that is. What is the old saying? I think Henry Ford said it best, but you guys can look it up, but I'll butcher it. He said something to the nature of like anything that is tracked can be improved, something like that. And that's in business, right? Like if you're monitoring your KPI stands for key performance indicators in business. Like if you're monitoring that and you got your kind of like your finger on the pulse of what levers to pull to adjust the KPI, your business is going to thrive and do better because you're on top of it. Your health is the same. If you're monitoring your blood markers, you're knowing what levers to pull to increase those blood markers or decrease sometimes, because sometimes maybe you might have too much of something, then that's the key, right? What can be measured will be improved, and just keep measuring it, keep monitoring it, keep on top of it, and keep improving. And not everything is like everyone's like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week. You don't have to. Maybe you go 2 or 3 days a week and you're eating better and you're taking supplements and maybe you add a peptide in there. I don't know, right? Like that's not for everybody, but maybe you do. And for me, I'm hitting the gym like 5, 6 days a week. I run, I lift.
Nice.
I do all of it. So it's and I do peptide supplements and I eat very healthy. I try to, right? Like obviously on Christmas I cheated. I mean, who's not going to cheat on Christmas? I mean, I went to my family's house, man. They brought over 9 freaking pies. 9. Or maybe it was 7. It might have been 7. Either way, it was still a lot. It was a lot of pie. pie to turkey ratio and pie to like there's a pie for each of us. I was like, this is the ratio's off.
Wow.
And so I had some pie, of course. You know, so I cheated there, but you know, that's all right. You know, it's
No, I wouldn't say it's cheating. You can eat more sometimes, but the main thing is that people tend to forget is that you need to keep these things in balance, and you need to move and burn more calories than what you take in. If you're capable of doing that, you know, then you know why not?
true, but you
You
gotta be
know?
very careful of your blood sugar is one of the biggest biomarkers, even for healthy people, because what happens is anytime you spike that blood sugar, your insulin spikes. And over the course of like say 20, 30, 40 years, that abuse of insulin spiking makes you insulin resistant by the time you're like 60,
Ah, okay.
70, 80 years old. And so you got to
Mm.
start thinking about some of these things, even at our age, when you're 30, 40, 50, because it's just once again, it's preventive maintenance. And that's one of the biggest problems, at least in America. Here, one of the biggest diseases we have is type 2 diabetes. And that's just because people just eat all this processed garbage food, sugar, and we don't think twice about it and we don't exercise. That's just the American way now. I don't know why, how our country got that way. It's freaking disgusting, but like, it's just, it is what it is. It's so like, it's an epidemic.
It's a slowly evolving epidemic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
I mean, think
disgusting.
about it. Cola has been around since what, the 20s, the 10s?
Yeah.
You know, like all these things, marketing has been a big you know, proponent of keeping those things in place. I think what's important for people to know that are listening right now is you got to get a baseline, and you do that by having your blood drawn and having
There
a
we go.
nutritionist go through your blood with you. And you know, if you're fine, great. If there's things that are out of line, do whatever they tell you to make it, to balance it, because it'll reset your chemistry. I did it when I gave up sugar, and I didn't do sugar for 90 days, and you know, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Huge difference. I was borderline candidate for diabetes myself. Like I was like a 5 out of a 10. I went down to a 1 after that. So you can
Yeah,
that's
bingo.
the preventative maintenance that you can do.
But
So,
you won't know that, to your point, Frank. You won't know that unless you go get checked. You
Yeah.
have to like you have to lift the hood up.
you got to
Right?
lift the hood up.
You got to be like, hey man, what's under here? Are we still running okay? What can I adjust? And it's not hard, guys. It's not hard at all. I mean,
No.
we're all here for wealth. I mean, that's what everyone here in this chat is here to do, is have wealth creation through crypto. But what's the point of wealth creation, guys, if like in your 60s you can't get out of freaking bed, or you're in a wheelchair because you had type 2 diabetes and your legs don't work? It's like, or you have bad circulation. Like, it's just no way to live a life. I want to live, you know, I want to be fully functional, living my best life all the way up to the time I pass, you know, not till like, I don't want to live 20, 30 years in a wheelchair because I had, you know, type 2 diabetes because I ate freaking McDonald's every day. right. It's like, I don't know. All right, we've been on the health subject a lot. I mean, the guys in here, no carbs, Archie. That's right. There we go. No carbs. I love it. Actually, you can do. So I do a little carbs. I saw you do carnivore diet. I want to touch on this. I saw you do a little bit of. I do a little bit of carbs after I work out. Very strategic carbs. Sweet potato is a very good strategic carb for an after workout for muscle building, because your body actually does require some carbs. It's just, you want to make sure they're the right kind of carbs. You don't want to go in there after you work out and eat white bread, for example. Like that would be a horrible, because it's like pure sugar. It really is. And so you want to be very strategic. Now, I also know people who have a great success just on the carnivore diet. So don't like take my word for it, or do what you keep doing. That's awesome. But yeah, seed oils are bad. You want to be very strategic with the oils you use in your kitchen. Avocado oil.
Yeah, olive oil only.
Yeah, those are death in a bottle. And they've been sold to us for, you know, centuries now. Unfortunately, like our grandparents didn't even know like seed oils were bad for us. This is a revelation in this, like, I don't know, in the last couple decades, I'd probably say this seed oil problem and epidemic we have. It's really it's crazy what's coming into the limelight now, which is good. Like we're starting to wake up consciously, health wise, which is really good. We need this, especially here in the United States, because we just been going down the like I went to Sprouts yesterday, and Sprouts, I love that grocery store, man. I went in there and I was just like, it was such a relief because we don't have that in Puerto Rico. And I was just like, oh my God, I like half the store here. Now there's still shit in there that's garbage, but at least I got a half a store here now that I can shop from and buy food from that I can eat and consume and feel good about. Like I'm just like, it's nice. Where if I go to Fry's or Kroger or Smith's, one of those type of grocery stores, the big box grocery stores, I would say 80 to 90% of the stuff in that store, I cannot, I will not eat. It's not I can't eat it. I will not eat it because it's shit. That was kind of a taste.
Let's pivot here because we still got the whole 2025 to look at here. So I looked up on ChatGPT.
I'm going to have this conversation, man. It's a good time to have this conversation.
Yeah, we're all this is a contemplative time. We've got, everything resets at the beginning of the year. And so we've got time to think about this. Even myself, I was home alone yesterday, doing some crypto stuff, just, being contemplative. Like, what is it I want to accomplish here in the next year? So this is for people for all of us, so I just put what can cryptocurrency investors often set goals. So cryptocurrency investors often set goals aligned with financial growth, risk management, and knowledge expansion. So here's a few right here. Portfolio size. Who doesn't want to increase their portfolio size? Diversification and passive income. We talk about passive income all the time, Corey. So maybe one of the things is to put a financial value on any of those three opportunities. Portfolio size. What do you want your portfolio to be this year in 2025, right? How do you want to diversify? And, do you want to have 50% in Bitcoin and Ethereum and then the rest in Pulse Chain and other coins? Or how do you want to do that? How do you want to diversify or go all in? What's your plan there? I mean, I know a lot of people in this ecosystem are all in. And then passive income, like from staking or yield farming or what's the other one? Staking, yield farming, and providing liquidity.
Liquidity. Yeah.
Well, node validating. I know that's part of
node
staking.
Validating. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most valuable things you could do because you add the most value to the blockchain because you become a piece of the blockchain. You're mining. You're the one holding the network up.
Corey, someone was asking on Twitter, do you know approximately how much you earn a day on one validator approximately?
Yeah, not a day. It ranges anywhere from about 8 to 12% APY, depending on how busy the chain is. So I think I could probably do the math on all year last year and see what I earned over the course of the whole year. But I usually go in there every once in a while on the monthly and I'll look at it. And it's between, when we were in the SEC bottom FUD with no transactions, I was getting around like 8% APY
a year. Yeah, it's risk free.
When it's crazy busy, I've seen it as high as 12. So like maybe we call it like 9 or 10 for an average.
10 average.
10, that to be like an average. Yeah, it's not like yield. Look, yield farming is going to pay you way more, but you also have risk of impermanent loss, right? You have all these other factors. Or you can say, "Oh, well, my hex, I make 38%." Yeah, you got to time lock it for 15 years to make your 38%. I'm not time locked on my node validators. I'm getting 10%. I can pull them whenever I want. They're just sitting there cooking for me. I am adding a valuable service to the blockchain. I am the blockchain. I am Pulse Chain. I'm a piece of Pulse Chain, right? And so I love that method of passive income. And you get paid in the layer one. Like you're paid in the layer one. Like that's freaking phenomenal, right? Like this. I mean, and I know in Hex you're paid in Hex, which is great too. I love that. I love more Hex. Who doesn't want more Hex? But I love node.
Yeah, you don't really need to lock it for 15 years. Like you can easily do that. Like what I've done, for example. Yeah, I could have done much better, but what I've done is lock it for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. No, normally because it's really important what Frank was saying. Like Frank, did you have a chance to have a look at that video which I put into the group from that guy who is saying how important planning is, and have some sort of goals. So what you are saying is
Not
it
yet.
makes a lot of
Well,
sense. Otherwise, we just how we're gonna move forward, or how we're gonna improve our.
You need to have a plan for everything. You should have a plan for your health. You should have a plan for your crypto. You should have a plan for your spirituality. Everything should be mapped out and planned. I'll give you another little real quick hack that I do. I do what's called the January letter every single year. I haven't written it this year. I need to write it this year. But what it is I take and write out basically is all your goals for the year, right? You write it out in the perspective, though, that you're 1 year ahead. So you're in 2026, January, looking back, what did you accomplish? And write it down. Write it down and write it down in the perspective that you did accomplish it, because it's huge, because it kind of tricks the brain, right? And then that's called your January letter, and you read it every single day. Put your crypto goals in there. Put your health goals in there. Put your, all that stuff, and read it every single night before you go to bed. Some people will even record themselves reading the January letter to like their phone, and then they replay it real lightly so they can barely hear it when they're sleeping, so it kind of absorbs in their subconscious. That's another little hack. I haven't done that. And
putting messages in your phone and in your computer, pop-up messages in your calendar that say, wow, I just accomplished this. I just accomplished that. Like if you set reminders that automated reminders, that also helps too.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Good point. Good point. So go ahead, Frank, finish your crypto goal.
So education and knowledge, people want to learn about new projects. For God's sake, we've got a lot of projects coming on the Pulse Chain.
It's a good thing.
Stay updated, improve technical analysis, which I'm actually going to start doing. Axis has a really good class that I need to just.
So does Pip Sniper. He is a real good one, and it's cheap. In fact, Pip Sniper, he is like one of the Fibonacci extension, like he's so good with the fibs, right? That's how he measures everything. And so like if you want to become a fib guy and really understand how that works, he's a good guy to go to. And fibs work really well when you're trying to dollar cost average in at like when you're trying to figure out what levels on the way down. Like where am I supposed to put my dollar cost average in at? The fibs extensions or the 618, the 786, those will tell you, hey, put your money here.
Yeah. Understand smart contracts. Okay. So trading and investment strategies, be consistent, stick to a planned investment or trading strategy, dollar cost averaging, reinvest a fixed amount regardless of market conditions, take profits, set clear targets for taking profits and managing risk, limit emotional trading, which is really great. Use automation like bots or strict rules to avoid impulse decisions. Thinking about that, like, look, if we're in a 4-year cycle, if 2025 is the year, do you have a plan to take profits? And I know some people are like, well, I'm cashing out at the top. Well, there's a lot of different theories that you can use. There's the cashing out at the top theory, and there's cashing out within 20% of the top. And, and then there's the theory of keeping things in crypto while you go through another bear market, if there's and stake it and provide LP and all that stuff for passive income. So there's not just one strategy, there's multiple strategies, including cashing out your initial investment. Maybe there's a strategy for you. If you want to buy a new car, you're going to buy a new car with some money you cash out, or a new watch or a new home or something. Those are like carrots for you to stick, to have firmly ingrained in your mind what you want to do as you take profits. Anybody else want to say anything about?
I would say, along with those carrots, visualize. Like if you're like, okay, what are some of the things you want to achieve? You just said like new home, new car. Okay, what does that new home look like? Is it a 5-bedroom? Is it a 4-bedroom? Is it do you have, what's the kitchen look like? Is it a really big white kitchen that your wife gets to cook in and be happy, right? So visualize and get specific about your goals and about what you want, and make them real in your head. make them really in the head, because once you do that, they become real in real life. They really do. I'm a product of this, right? I've done this my entire life, my entrepreneur life, I'd say, is that, the law of attraction is real. And so putting the goal making strategy along with getting specific in with those goals, and to get to a point where you can like touch it, feel it, see it, taste it, it's very impactful.
Yeah, go to MatthewFerry.com. I think it's two T's, TTHEW Ferry, FERRY.com, and pull up the, I think it's free. It's called the 1010 visualization, or you can buy it on Amazon, I'm sure, but check those. Those are really great for visualizing what you want. I did it with my last house. And the funny thing is the floor plan was just flip-flopped. I had an entire,
what was it, right?
It worked,
it worked. You see,
it was on the kitchen was on the right side of the house. And my other one, in my visualization, it was on the left side. so crazy. Yeah. So yeah, very, very important. So, all right. So, okay. Risk. So here, one thing about limit emotional trading. Think about this. We talked about it with Crypto 7 a few weeks back, of how quickly things can happen when the top of the bull market happens. You have only so much time, right? You got maybe 2 weeks for the top of Bitcoin, maybe 3 months total to get within 80% of the top, maybe 60 days, something like that. Do anybody just go on the chart and look and see, the Bitcoin chart and Ethereum chart, look and see what the time was there. And so you want to have that plan in place, so you're not just doing it emotionally. Like a lot of people, if they would have dumped this past couple of weeks, like the market in PLS dumped, you could get pretty emotional. I mean, I was upset. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I thought this was over.
I was upset for half a day. Yeah.
And I just said, that's it. I'm done with this. I'm gonna process this. It took me a few more days, but I got over it, and I'm like got back.
Frank, I was more upset that I didn't have money on chain to DCA. I had no money on chain.
I took profits about 3 days before, and I was so excited, but I put them
you had some money on chain?
I put them in. I didn't put them in USD. I put them in Pulse, and that.
Oh.
Oh well, it is. But even that's a strategy, right? Are you gonna, when you profit, are you putting it into other coins? Are you putting 100%. It into, are you putting it into a stable coin? Are you putting it into multiple stable coins? I mean, there's a whole, that's where you want to create a mastermind of, say 4 or 5 people, and develop a strategy, what it is at the top to exit. Okay. So risk management, establish the stop loss policy, reduce overexposure, emergency fund. That's kind of what we're talking about, like having cash on the side for downturns, unexpected needs. Like that's, and then, again, these are just broad, general. We're getting more specific as we share it, but any thoughts on risk management, guys?
I think that's it. Go ahead, Norbert. I've been talking a lot.
No. It's absolutely good things you're saying, guys. My point is, I always say this. One of them is, I have to disagree with Frank and many crypto people, and don't throw the stone at me, but I don't think we're gonna have these 4-year cycles anymore, because we grew out of that stage. Like at this point, we were teenagers as a crypto industry. Now we're not teenagers anymore. We are like kind of young adults phase, in my opinion, on the financial market. It's the very good point, guys. When Bitcoin dropped from 105,000 to 91,000 and something, and it went back straight to 100,000. That shows me that those days are gone, because before, when we had those sort of drops, you could feel it for days, that people were like, and then it was coming down even more.
The volatility will dampen, but the 4-year cycles will always be there as long as we're on the dollar standard. When we got taken off the dollar standard of the gold standard in the 1970s, we started having the 4-year cycles then. That's when the 4-year cycle started. It didn't start when crypto started. People think the Bitcoin halving is like this whole like magical time when the bull runs. It's not. It has nothing to do with the Bitcoin halving. It has to do with the global liquidity index that controls everything. And crypto is just so risk on that it's the first to be affected and the most like volatile to be affected. Now, I agree with you, Norbert, that the volatility will dampen and will grow up in a way where maybe instead of a 77% drop on Bitcoin, we only get a 20% drop. Maybe instead of a 90% drop in altcoins, we only get a 60% drop or 50 or 40. Now, I agree with that. That will mellow out more like the stock market. But the 4-year cycle, as long as we're on this dollar Ponzi system, the 4-year cycle will exist.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Do the research on it. That's why the Russell 2000 has been following the 4-year cycle as long as it's been around, because the Russell 2000 is the shit coins of the stock market.
Huh.
Small cap coins. Yeah, true. But yesterday, there's a very good old say. There's a very good old say. Yesterday, I didn't know that I can do what I've done today. So we don't know. We don't see in the future that maybe we're gonna have a people coming up in different levels in like politics, economy, finance, cultural level. Because the way how I see things, I don't want to sound too gloomy, but or too negative, but value, it's disappeared from Earth, in my opinion. This conversation, what we're having, I'm getting more value from Frank and you than what I'm getting on my own in the world in like over a month. Someone else just showed up. So value is something what we're not getting. And but what if we're gonna have more people who are seeing things on a bigger scale and then also want to do for the bigger good? You know, then there's not gonna be this sort of manipulations or this sort of attachments to the dollar itself. Because if efficiency and growth and value, like a real value, when someone provide a real value, not like some sort of TikTok shit that I'm saying, oh, I just made some pancake, and then you get like 5 million likes, you know, because whatever. But if someone like Frank says a 5 minutes monologue saying, oh, you could look at your life this way, you could look at your finance that way, you could make some plans, that's value, you know. And if those things will shift, more and more people will realize that I don't want to spend my time on scrolling TikTok the whole day and watching shitty things, you know, like, but it takes a lot of time and effort and alignment and, you know, like all sorts of things. But yeah.
If anything, scrolling is ChatGPT looking for strategy answers on how to solve real life problems in your own life. You know, like when you feel stuck, go on ChatGPT, throw in a problem there, see if it can help you solve it 80% of the way.
No, go to a group like yours, Frank. Go to a group like yours, because ChatGPT, we're training a very dangerous system, which is, you know, if it's gonna outsmart us. Imagine that we ask all the major questions which is related to a human being struggles and challenges and, you know, like all sorts of things. So if the system will know better than what's the problem and what's the solution, that then yeah, that's what I'm saying, like just slow it down, you know, like reach out for a guy like you rather than
you either fight it or you learn to use it and grow with it. Like that's the way I look at it. It's like all technology, you know, everybody wants to fight it at first, but like you can't stop it. The AI is going to keep coming. It's going to keep growing. It's going to keep getting better. They're going to keep improving it. It's going to keep getting smarter. Yeah. Will we end up with a bunch of robots killing us at the end of the movie? I don't know, maybe, but like we're not stopping it. This beast is running out of control, and there's gonna be a day where I think AI and crypto come together, and that's when things are gonna get very interesting. But hey, Crypto Compassion, what up, bro, man? How you doing, dude? Long time no see, no talk to.
Yeah, man, I caught your, I put the oi in there. I heard you, talk about coming on stream. Just wanted to pop in here real quick. We got, not to show my own shit, but yeah, we
Chill
got
it, bro. I don't
Hey,
care.
today at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we got A Wild SJ and Show Gates popping in the house.
Oh, you got Shieldgates, man. That guy's been
I
he's been
know.
getting around.
I know. Well, hey, we're gonna, I understand there's a little bit of
I like that guy.
controversy, but here's the
I like
thing.
the guy. Yeah.
A Wild SJ is proven equity as far as sweat equity within our community. We love A Wild SJ.
Yes.
I don't know. I really don't know much about Showgate, so I'm gonna kind of treat him with kid gloves. You know what I mean? As far as like,
Yeah.
let's see what's
He's
going on.
knowledgeable.
Yeah,
He's very knowledgeable crypto. He's been around the block for a long time. He was brought in by hexologists.
Okay, and so I've heard this, that. Hey, if anything, I like to go find out for myself.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And the same goes for you. You and I have met each other in person.
Yep.
We've crossed that layer of just not being Twitter buddies. You know what I mean? We've actually shook hands. We've slapped hands. We've been doing karaoke and seeing like $200,000 clips on PulseX that night. You know what I mean? Just
yes.
Cool. But yeah, to back it back up, the AI stuff is. I get it. Yeah, you're right. At some point, we might go, man, the beasts are coming and they're coming to get us. And here comes,
None of you, man. You lean into it.
But I use it every day. It helps me build my thumbnails. It helps me do all these things. Right. It's like my assistant. You know what I mean? And like to your point up there, buddy, it's like you got a problem. I go in there and I type it up, and it at least gives me something to reflect on and kind of think about and go, yeah, I should approach this problem maybe with parts of this solution that it's given me.
Yep.
So it's pretty wild.
I'm trying to find compassion. I'm trying to find the this audio. It's a really good audio on ChatGPT, and he describes it as the equivalent of the steam engine in the late 1800s.
Okay.
So really? I can see that totally. Yeah.
Wow.
It is.
But the steam engine didn't come back and kill us.
Well, I think from listening to his podcast, I think, and this guy is an expert on ChatGPT. I think that after listening to it, you may have different thoughts about how to use it.
Okay,
I think
cool.
After listening to this, so just carry on, and I'm trying to find it, and I'll. It's a great podcast.
Yeah, if you find it, we'll post it in the chat, and then I also would like to listen to it, and hear his perspective on it.
I completely agree with you, though. It is definitely a slippery slope, but it's like the toothpaste is out. It's like out of the bottle. It's like it's scary to think about what could be, but like right now, I know there's a great opportunity to. Oh man, the purple pimp Jinjitsu's up in the house here.
I think he might be AI too. I'm just it's a hunch that's an AI picture.
He's everywhere.
Look how frozen it is. Only AI can sit that still.
I'm very calm. Very, very calm.
And very calm too at that. And being Canada in the cold.
Ice fishing.
It's not cold today. It's only like minus 15.
Dude, that's freaking cold. Woo! That is cold, man. I thought Arizona was cold with 35.
Yeah,
that's t-shirt weather.
Fast. I hope you can get down. I hope you can get down to Panama and get some sun in your life, buddy.
Yeah. I don't tan real well, but I could use a little bit of sun.
Fast Abdul, are you coming down to Panama?
Yeah, I was thinking I'd do Panama and probably Vegas too.
I'll be at both of those. I'm speaking at the Panama one, which would be good, and then I think we're gonna sponsor the Vegas one. We're in the works of we're talking about it right now. It's not a done deal, but we're trying to sponsor it, so that would be really good. So yeah,
are you gonna set up a booth kind of thing? Or are you gonna sponsor the golf tournament or
booth, speaking on stage? It'd be the second package they have. The second one from the top is what we'll be looking at. So it'll be good. It'll be for the DeFi Wealth Trust. That way we can educate people on not paying freaking 3-letter agencies all their money that they earn from crypto. It'd be nice. Yeah. They actually kept some of that money. So that's what that would be about. But yeah, Panama's gonna be good. In fact, I've never been to Panama. It'll be my first time there. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Compassion. So you're going too, then, right? Panama.
I'm not going to Panama, but I'm going to Vegas. Yep.
Okay, you're not going to Panama, but you are going to Vegas.
Yeah, I probably should have gone to Panama because there was a lot of, I don't want to say like red carpet, but like, yeah, Randy was like,
Dude,
yeah, I mean, he was, yeah, I know. I had it cross conflicted with other things, but
you still
there'll
got
be
time.
more. I know there'll still be more.
You got a month, bro. You can still do it.
Hey, I really do like what Randy's done and created with the No Permissions
I do
group.
too.
It's a great group of guys and gals who are just well grounded. You know what I mean? And Randy is just such a
go giver.
Yeah, he's just a giver. I mean, he
He's
just
a
wants to.
giver. I tell the story all the time when the SEC FUD hit the hardest, and of course, we're human. It shakes everyone's resolve, right? At some point in time or another. When my resolve was most shaken, I was listening to Randy every single night. I was listening to Sami every single night. And I mean, like, I was listening to all 4 of his videos back then. Like, I don't do that now, but like, I was listening to everything. And between him, Randy, and Sami, man, I would say, that's what kept me believing. That's what kept me diamond handing. That's what kept me dollar cost averaging in still, like going in because of the community. I saw the community through Randy, through No Permissions, through his show, his beliefs. And man, those are the 2 influencers that really kept me sane during the most troubled times. So I always shout out Randy for that, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that have taken breaks during the bear market, and I literally doubled down. I just said, you know what? This is the time where I didn't want to take a break. You realize it's, do you take a break at the top of the market? So anyway,
no, I hope not. If you want a round trip,
this is where
back to the factory.
Yeah, it's when you look back at charts like Matic and you go, gosh, I wish I got in at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at Helium, gosh, I wish I would have gotten at the bottom. Ethereum, I wish I would have gotten at the bottom. Well, you could have, so it's like, it's counterintuitive, but it's a strength that, a dollar cost averaging at the bottom is a real gutsy strengthening.
It sucks.
Strengthening move. Yeah, it sucks.
I was like literally throwing up in my mouth every single day. Every single day I'd do a dollar cost average in. I was just like, oh God, I'm just throwing this down the toilet. That's what it felt like, right? Like it just, it
especially
was,
when you go
all,
and it's
all these
25% the next day or something. You're just like, what did I just do?
I know.
Front Row Dads by John Vroman. I put it in the chat. That's the guy.
Okay, nice.
Podcast is in the chat. I put it in our chat here too.
Okay, good.
40-minute, hour, whatever it is. And that came from my wife. So she's, most of the stuff she sends me, man, I know it's high quality stuff. So
okay, nice.
The AI convo, right, Frank?
Yeah. Front Row Dads with John Vroman, Vroman.
All right, great.
How leaders can leverage AI for strategic thinking.
Love it.
And Norbert, you mentioned this too, is, a mastermind group with a lot of smart people in crypto, which I encourage people watching right now is to just start one with 2 people, talk every week, get 2 or 3 more people that are passionate about crypto and talk about it. You'll become smarter as a result of talking to other people about crypto
100%.
in an accelerated
Yeah,
rate.
thank you for saying that. We created one with my friends, a trading one, not as active as yours. Unfortunately, people tend to be more laid back in my one, but it's important. But at the same time, it's what you are talking about, guys. It's years of experience and knowledge, because we didn't know better before that we need to double down when everything is at the bottom. Like for example, myself, I just bought some crypto and I was like, yay, it's going up, and it's like, yeah, it's going down. But I haven't done anything about it between. I just watched the whole movie to happen, to go up and down. I'm continuously doing yield farming and providing liquidity on 2 Fox 9-inch, and Pools X. But pretty much that's the only thing I do right now. But yeah, everyone has different things, but it's experience. We have to experience these things. And yeah, it takes a lot of time and knowledge and these type of conversations with people. So.
Yep. Agreed. And just 2 people, Norbert, is all it takes to have a beginning workings of a mastermind. Even like I got my buddy out in Puerto Rico, DeFi Nation, you know him, Frank. Like we hang out all the time in Puerto Rico. Like we're always, and we have completely different ideologies in crypto and method and strategies. He's very hardcore yield farmer. He's hardcore into like, the more speculative, lottery tickets on Pulse Chain. Like he's just really hammering that part. Like he's got a lot of liquidity over 2 Fox, a lot of liquidity in 9-inch. Like that's a stick, right? And me, I'm over here like I have 90% of all the RH assets. I'm node validating. I have 1 liquidity position, and like that's it. Like it took him 3 months of yapping in my ear before I bought BBC. Like he's like, dude, you don't understand. You can put it in a single side, earn yield, no risk, like your node validators. And I was like, it took him a while to convince, but I mean that conversations is so valuable that you have with those people, even because they have different strategies, different outlooks, different perspectives. You need to look at it from their perspective. Frank talks about this all the time. Instead of like arguing with people and fighting with people, try to look at it from their perspective and go, okay, what is he seeing that I am not seeing? And where's the value there? And that's where the growth happens. And that's why masterminds are so powerful.
Yeah. Honor one's perspective, thinking, and that what I learned through the whole PDI scenario is, and I'll make this brief because what I've noticed, and I've noticed a lot of smart people talking about it, either party, either side has very valid, very deep understanding of how it could. And I was just like, look, there's something called polarized hatred. So when what happens is if you take one side or the other, you begin to hate the person you're talking to about, because your point of view is better than theirs, and their point of view is better.
Wrong way of thinking. Yep.
So it's like, just honor their way of thinking, neutralize it, accept it, and may the best theory win. So why go down the Twitter like feelings in your soul of despair, negativity when talking in the conversation about like with that? Just keep the conversation at integrity, which is you're going to feel good when it's at integrity. You're going to feel good when you're loving somebody about it, when you're unconditionally loving, when you're reasoning, etc. Keep it in that versus the sub integrity conversation. And
that's where you learn and grow. You don't learn and grow when you're fighting and hating.
No. It's always going to be 2 different sides. From that is 6, from here is 9, and as we grow more mature, we tend to become a individual who shares, who provides, who helps, who does positive things. Arguing about about certain topics, I find it just a waste of time. But when you help out, when you contribute, when you share, it is much more helpful for you and for others as well. I don't think we are being placed on this earth to convince other people. No, I am right. No, it's wrong what you're saying. It's like,
no, we're placed on this earth to provide value to each other. That's why we're placed on this earth, to learn how to do what Frank is talking about, because it's more difficult to do that than to say, oh, I hate you, you're wrong, you're stupid. That's easy. That's the easy way out, right? Yeah, that's what I truly believe. I do got to wind the show down, guys. I got to take my wife to the doctor, and we're getting all our checkups and doctor appointments all done while we're here in Arizona before we head back to Puerto Rico, because that way I can get out there and not worry about these things. Any last parting
word? Okay, or just general?
Oh yeah, we're getting physicals done. We're getting dentistry done. We're all okay. We're all healthy. Once again, lifting the hood up, We're just
Yep.
lifting the
Gotta
hood up.
look. Gotta look.
Yeah. Gotta
Gotta
look,
look.
man. I'm making
I
it to
haven't
100.
lifted the hood up for like 20 years, I think, something
Go
like
lift
that.
it up, and you'll be surprised what you find. You
Nah,
gotta lift it
I
up.
don't want to do that. God knows what is under the hood, man.
I'm gonna live to 150 years old, man, to make sure that I'm able to see my daughter's daughters. Like, she's got 15-year stakes, and I say that because now Crispy Man's here.
I know.
So like, she's got 15-year stakes. Like, I want to see her 15-year stakes come out. And I want to see her kids. If Hex is becoming the next blue chip, I want to see her kids' 15-year stakes come out. Right? The only way I'm going to do that is if I lift the hood up, look underneath, and go, okay, what do I need to adjust now? For example, we talked about the whole type 2 diabetes stuff. That's huge. What can be done now to preserve 20, 30, 40 years of my life down the road? So,
And when you're saying these things before we all leave the show, is 15 years might sound a long time, but technically Hex done 5 years already.
a
So it
third of the
proved
way
itself.
there.
A third of the way there, so what's another, 9 years down the line, or 10 years, to do the same, to
Start
constantly,
doing
because
jujitsu
it's
now.
still working, it's still doing this thing day in, day out, just like the wind blows or the river flows,
That's it. All right. Anyone else got anything else before we hop off? I do got to get out of here. We got the shit show coming on when? You can go and show that.
Yeah, 1 hour. 1 hour. I'll get
1 hour, guys. 127 of you guys watching. I want to see all 127 of you guys over there watching the shit show. I'll tune in. I'll be at the doctor's office, but I'll tune in on my earplugs and support you guys. We want to support everybody who's preaching the good word of everything Pulse Chain, everything this ecosystem has to offer, this community. There is no better community, period, in crypto than right here. So
I just want to shield two things.
Yep.
I'll make it quick. Going back on the whole level of increase your level of consciousness. There's a course that I did in 1998, earth shattering. It's called the Landmark Forum. It's Landmark Education Worldwide or Landmark Worldwide. It's offered throughout the, 30, 40 different countries. Great class. Actually met my wife there. And then the second thing, I wrote this, Why Wait? Create Your Soulmate Now book, which I'm shilling. It's me.
Shilling.
That will, you can get that on Amazon. That book will raise your level of consciousness as well. It will help you get even the 5 points. It will help you get, for the most part.
I'm going to order it and read it. I got my soulmate already. Like, she's like the perfect woman for me. Like, There's no better. But I should read that. I bet there'll be some things I would learn to help our relationship evolve.
Yeah, and a lot of married couples read it. So
Yeah.
I've had, therapists recommend it. It's a really good read for people looking to find their soulmate, people who've already found them, to help
Love that.
Improve it even more. So
yeah, this was a good show. We talked about a lot of high level things that was not so much crypto. I don't know if that was if the audience liked that or not, but we got 129 of them watching, so some of them liked it, which is good.
We provided value for sure.
We did, man. And because once again, man, how are you going to enjoy all your freaking gains if you're not going to have all this other stuff? Like, money is a very small piece of the puzzle. It's a very intricate part. Don't get me wrong.
Tool.
But it's a tool. It's definitely a tool, but you need to have it. But there's all these other things where if you don't have these other things, like, for example, like health, money don't mean shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have the other things where money to mean something. Like, for me, I the fact that I do have my family, my loved ones, I have my health, then that means I can enjoy, the money can help me enjoy my life with them and have that freedom with them and be able to do what I want. So that's where it's impactful. Where, like, man, if I was old Corey, all money was, it would destroy old Corey. Money would destroy it, right? Like, it's so, like, it's just and so it's funny how it works, man, when you really think about it. I saw this. Yeah, guys, I recommended my community too. Don't use USDT right now. There's something going on over in, I think, Europe or something. They're banning it. I don't know all the details. Just, I would recommend not using USDT for the time period until we know more information. So It was the same thing when I heard about FTX. I remember when I heard about FTX, like it was like on Twitter about like 3 or 4 days. I saw a couple different reputable accounts talking about FTX, the problems they were having, and then I like, oh my god, like, and so I even had a little bit of money. I didn't have a lot of money on there, I had a little bit, but I pulled my money off, and then what happened? It fucking collapsed.
What coins make up DAI?
That's the MakerDAO. So
Mostly
Ethereum,
ETH and USDC.
ETH, yeah.
Is it
Yeah, and you,
or what is it? Compassion?
yeah, I'm thinking you're right. It's like a combination of the collateral of the Ethereum, the USDC, you know,
I think that's it.
USDT. Is that it?
I
Are you
think
looking at it real
I
time?
think it's mainly made up of Ethereum and USDC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think the USDC or USDT sorry,
USDT. Yeah.
problem would affect DAI. Now, you know, once again, you know, this is not financial advice. I'm just a dude in the internet. But yeah, just I would currently, if you're in stable coins and you have USDT, you know, something to think about. That's all. So guys, I gotta wind it down though. Went 7 minutes over. Guys, I love every single one of you. Have a great freaking weekend. We got the New Year's coming up. Do what Frank was talking about. Sit down, write down some goals on your health, on your spirituality, on your wealth, everything that gets tied into that. I got to hop off and get out of here. I appreciate every single one of you. Remember, go touch some grass, get those memories and experiences with your loved ones. Get out there, enjoy life, and I will see you guys mañana.
Later.
Peace.
You boys.
All the best.